Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, a very highly anticipated video for me because today we're painting the calipers on the Mustang. Yeah, I'm excited. So let's go to the bench, check out the kit we're gonna be using, and I think this is gonna be the easiest way to paint your calipers. Alright guys, so on the bench here today, this is the kit we're going to be using. What you get in this kit here is obviously the paint, which we went with orange. We're going to be doing orange calipers on the EcoBoost Mustang, which I think is going to look pretty cool. You're going to get the reactor that will mix with this before applying. You get a paintbrush, a stir stick, and some brake cleaner as well. So that's pretty much everything you get in this kit. Now, if you guys are doing this at home yourselves, there's a couple other things that you're gonna need. First off, we got a couple of these brushes here, which are gonna be used to help clean the brake calipers off because we wanna make sure we have a good painting surface before we apply the paint. So prep is gonna be key with this. I have some masking tape here because we're gonna mask off some of the parts on the caliper I don't wanna get any paint on, of course, so we're gonna do that after we clean them. And I got some of these drop cloths here, just in case it gets a little messy. We may put one of these down, not 100% sure yet. Now, one thing I will warn you about, the last kit I've used, this brush was not good. The bristles kept coming out of this brush. It's not good for when you're painting and you gotta start fishing out bristles out of the paint. So with that kind of in mind, I went out and bought some of these brushes, which was just at Home Depot. So I don't know, there's some artist brush set. So we'll see how good they are, but I have to imagine they'll be better than that one. So that's the whole kit. That's what we're doing today. Let's go over to the Mustang and take a look where we are. And guys, look at this. I've already jacked up the car, removed all four wheels. Let's just dive right into it. I'm gonna get everything set up here and we'll start cleaning up the calipers in the front and move our way to the rear. All right, we got it cleaned up here for what I think the most part. It's time for the brake cleaner. And that's only one of them. We got 3 more. We just hit it with the brake clean, so I'm gonna let this dry and then we'll move on to the other 3. And after that's done, it's time to tape off the brake pad and some of the other, like the clips here and whatnot. So, because I don't want to get paint on those. On to the next. Well, this is taking quite a long time, so let's see if we can speed this up a little bit. All right, well, that was a ton faster with the drill and the brushes, man, for sure. We are pretty much done with this one, so now it's time to rinse and repeat. Let me do this and we'll move on and just speed up the rest of them because it's about the same thing each and every time. Whew, well, they're all cleaned up, all 4. And that part takes a little time, but it's important because you really want that surface area to be as clean as possible. So yeah, everything is looking pretty good, pretty clean. All right, now that the calipers are clean and we have a clean surface area here to paint, time to mask off everything we don't need painted. This is probably gonna be a little time consuming, so I'm gonna go ahead and mask it off and then I'll meet back up with you once we're done. Well, done masking it off anyway. All right guys, everything is masked off and that took a little longer than expected, but we got it all masked off now. Thankfully with the brush and stuff, I won't have to be as, careful as far as masking. If I was spray painting, that'd be another story. You can see I'm just masking off the actual pad itself. I'm gonna make sure I'm careful not to get a whole bunch of paint on these clips here, but I think that's kind of the nice part about doing it with a brush is that you can be kind of delicate like that. So I did this all four calipers are now masked off just like this. 2, 3, and 4. Now let's see, let me double check here. But I believe, yep, so we're gonna pour the entire jar of the reactor into this can, the paint can. And then you'll want to let this react for about 5 minutes, it says. Oh man, and the timer has started. And then we're going to mix this up. Now, I may end up biting myself for this one, but I took the 2.3 T badges off of the car as well. You guys know I've been talking in other videos about painting this red insert orange as well. If we have any paint left, I'm gonna attempt it with that. That may not go super well because it's not designed for plastic, so we'll see. If not, it's not a huge deal. I'll just kind of acetone it off and then we'll start from scratch. This is not a expensive emblem here either, so. By the way, these brushes are super nice, actually. Rubber little tip on these, not bad. I got the paint here. We're just gonna start going in. First coat is done, and it looks like I murdered a pumpkin all over my brakes. You can see it here. Not the best look, but this is just the first coat, so don't worry, like I am. We're going to apply 2 more coats, and it's gonna even out a lot, but you can see it's really blotchy right now. I just finished with the passenger side, so it kind of went all the way around, and so now I'm gonna go back to the driver's side and start adding another coat. Alright guys, we just finished the second coat of paint, and I'll let you guys see what this looks like. It's still blotchy, but it's getting better. It's not good by any means, but it's getting better. Here is the rear, so still not complete coverage. We might do 4 coats, just depending on what happens here with this, but you see, definitely looking like orange, so that's good. But anyways, I'm gonna give it just a few minutes because I think I went through this, and I'm gonna let it dry just a little bit more because it was still just a little bit tacky once I did this second coat. So we're gonna let it kind of just harden up for just a few more minutes, and we're gonna do the third coat and see how it looks. All right guys, so the third coat is done and it's looking better. I'm gonna go for one more coat here because it's still not where I want it to be, and I have the paint left. So let me show you where we are right now. After 3 coats, it's definitely much better, but it's not perfect yet. So I have enough paint, I think, to get a 4th coat in here, and I'm definitely gonna do it. I'm just giving it a little extra time to harden up on there because I don't wanna keep putting it on wet, and the more coats that you put on, typically the longer drying time, but it looks pretty good. There's just still some spots you can see where it's not perfect. So this might have to do too with what color you choose. Maybe if you have a darker color that you're using this kit for, you'll probably get better coverage, you know, right away and less coats. But with an orange, a bright color, yellow, something like that, you know, maybe 4 coats is where we gotta be. So I don't know yet. I'm gonna just keep going until the paint's empty because I want the best coverage I can possible on these. Shirt change, it's the next day, and I'll tell you why that is. I went to go put on the 4th coat and noticed there was a little bit more paint left in that little container right here, and so I decided to use it all up, put another coat on, so at the end of the day we got 5 coats of this stuff on the calipers, and honestly on the 3rd coat I was a little worried because it still didn't have complete coverage, so I was really thankful we had more than enough in here to get complete coverage. I just took my time, went around, but before I knew it, it was dark outside and not so good for filming. So, let me show you what the calipers look like now after they've had about a day to dry, and I think you're gonna be impressed. I know I was. Well guys, here they are. a finished product. Now this has been drying for a little over a day here now. And I've taken off the masking tape already. Spared you guys that one. Yeah, I think overall it turned out pretty good. It's super glossy and smooth to the touch here. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. The nice part, I mean, this job is a tedious job no matter what. You know, if you're spray painting this or you're painting it with a brush like I did, it's still a labor-intensive job and it takes a while. However, I think this method is far easier than masking everything off and spraying. This is what the rears turned out to be. So pretty good as well. Thankfully, I didn't get a bunch of paint drips and stuff. I was kind of worried about that, but no, it went good. I still got to remove the painter's tape from this one, but this guy turned out pretty good too. And actually a nice trick, which I was working on this one earlier, is if you end up, if your masking isn't exactly perfect and you get some paint on these brake pad brackets here, a razor blade takes it right off. So you can just kind of be careful with that, go around. Again, that's labor intensive as well, but if you want a good looking set of calipers, that's kind of what you're in for. Overall, I'm super impressed with this kit. I mean, for about $50, you have more than enough paint to go around to do all 4 calipers. And these aren't huge calipers here. There's definitely bigger out there, but they're not the smallest on the market either. So it's good to know that you get enough in the can to make sure you get full coverage on your brakes. So really at the end of the day, guys, I'm impressed with this kit. If you guys want to buy this one, I'll throw a little Amazon link up there in the video description of where you can purchase this. But overall, I think this is one of the easiest ways you can go about painting your brakes, or your brake calipers anyway. Since you don't have to remove the calipers, there's no messing around with bolts and pads or anything like that. So if you're not super automotive savvy, you can still paint your calipers and get that job done. Well, with all that being said, guys, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you think about the orange calipers. If you guys have been watching the channel, you know that this is just the first in a series of soon-to-come modifications on the EcoBoost. We got a kit right over there, which is out of frame right now, but it's to paint these stock wheels black, and we actually chose Hyper Dip for that one. So if you guys are curious on that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That's gonna be coming out in a couple weeks here for you. Oh, also, the emblems did not hold the paint as I thought they might not, but this is the little T. So the painting of these will have to be done with a different orange paint, probably something that adheres to plastic would be good. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. And thanks for your time. You guys have a good day. We'll catch you in the next upload. Bye.